right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Codec Post Show. We got a couple topics to talk about. The first one is Young. How's that cheesesteak, man?
You have no idea.
That says it all.
I don't live very far north. I think anything that we have down here that we call it cheesesteaks probably no resemblance to what you guys call it up there. So
up there where?
Up there.
Up there, like above the. I live in Florida.
Oh, okay.
So a cheesesteak.
Oh, you live in no man's land. That's what that is. Oh, okay.
I live in. It's called grandparents' land. Okay.
Oh, okay. Great. That's even better. That's even better.
Hey, look, the only good thing that we have down here is the one-liners from CSI Miami. So.
Yeah, by the way, guys, I'm going to be eating because of the time delay. I was supposed to eat this in the hour that we were supposed to have before 70's interview. So, it is what it is.
It is exactly. It is what it is. This is extra content for you guys.
Exclusive feature right here. Yang eats cheesesteak.
So the first topic that I want to talk about, and like I said, we're going to be pretty short. We only got a couple to talk about. But the first one is Hitman. Have you guys seen the new and heard about the new Hitman game coming out?
Yeah, I've seen footage of it.
So basically, according to the studio, the game, when it comes out, is not going to be done. It's got this new system where you're going to play the game, and then after a month or two, they're going to release the next part of the game. Yeah. So there's no, end to it. Yeah, look at Young's face. That's what the face that I made. Because I don't understand.
Is it free? Like it's free content throughout?
No, I don't think it is. Unless you're having to buy the whole thing up front, then they are.
Yeah, it's.
Oh, okay.
You're gonna buy the game, but that's like with Metal Gear, you can buy the game and rush to the end. Here, there's no end. You can rush to where they stop the whatever.
As far as the content goes.
Yeah, as far as the content goes in the story, and then they said later on they're adding more that will develop the story more. So basically, think of it as a story that progresses over time and is not delivered to you day one.
So it's a Telltale game. I'm just saying.
Really funny.
Oh, that was great.
That was an unscripted.
I'm sorry, I had to ask.
Wrote it.
Oh, you're gonna kill me. I have food in my mouth, man.
The voice of.
I take full responsibility if y'all ends up choking on his food by accident. I'm so sorry, guys.
That's a great comparison. But I guess unlike a Telltale game, it's not delivered to you in DLC chunks. Whereas chapter 1 of a Telltale game will end. This has like they said, when you get to the ending point, it will just be like a cliffhanger until they release the second part of the content. So the question is, and like I said, I want to be kind of quick on this one because there's still a lot of details to come out. But just your initial impressions. Are you okay with buying a game that doesn't have an ending that you can play to for, it might be months. It could be a couple months before they release the second part. My personal opinion was, no, if you sell me a game, I need the whole game. I'm giving you all of the money. If I only got to pay them $10 now and then $10 later, maybe I would be okay with that. But you're asking me to pay upfront for a game that's incomplete. And then I don't know how the ending is going to be. I might not like the game after that much time, and then I'm getting gypped out of content because I might not play whatever you put out later on. So that was my opinion on it. But you two are the experts around here. I'm just
expert is a strong term for me, buddy. But go ahead.
Look, I'm just the host. All right, you guys are the experts here. So while we let Yang finish his sandwich,
good call.
Ronan, what's your initial impression of that, man?
I mean, from the way it's described, it doesn't sound that much different from an early access game on Steam, where you are paying, for the most part, you are paying full price for an unfinished product, and you are left to the jurisdiction of the developers, where they decide whether or not the content they're putting in the game is worth the price of admission. And in my honest opinion, I'm not the craze that has come out of early access ever since the first few games that have happened has made it to a point where it almost feels like there are lots of developers taking advantage of it. Before it was just indie games, but there's a lot of big name developers out there that are taking advantage of this too.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think it's gotten to that point now where it begs the question of, is this their way of circumventing the publisher costs and getting the money up front for the game to make the game in the first place? In which case, I would be okay with that because I know publishers can be kind of harsh on that aspect. But when it comes to asking you to pay for a game that you don't really know how much you're going to be getting out of it, I just I do take an issue with that. And for me, I don't think, in Hitman's case at least, I don't think that it's worth going through that much trouble over it.
And let's be clear, like, it might be a little different if they had a solid track record, but this is a game a game company who put out Hitman Absolution, one of the worst Hitman games I've ever played, so this might be a little mixed, but Blood Money I didn't like either. I liked the Hitman 1, 2, and what was the other one? I don't think it was called Hitman 3. I don't think it was. There was another one that was before Absolution and before the other one, where it was like that solid, like, here's an here's a sandbox, go, dress up and, do that. But Absolution felt like it didn't feel good.
Kirk, are you in the chat? I know Kirk is in the chat. He's a big Hitman fan. I'm sure he knows. I'm sure he knows which one that was.
He's our residential analysis. We might have to bring him on the post show one time. But while we figure that out, Yong, what's your
contracts, by the way?
Okay. What's your initial impression of a game company asking you to pay for a game that technically is incomplete?
Okay, well, one thing would be if they actually presented a plan, like, okay, this month we're going to release this month we're going to release that. Maybe I'd be a little more inclined if they had a sort of a full plan for us where we're like, okay, so you're not going to take forever to release the next episode and we won't know about it. There's a solid plan and you say you're going to deliver this on this date and that on that day. And if it was like that, I'd be a little more inclined. But even then, I mean, it's such an uncertain thing when you buy a piece of a game. And like, how are the reviewers going to tell you this is a good game, this is a bad game when it's just little pieces? The game releases, they can't say anything because the game's just not complete. And it's not like chapter 1 of the game. It's just like it's little chunks of the game. Exactly. Going back to that cheesesteak analogy, imagine they asked you, okay, this whole batch of cheesesteaks is $60, but we're gonna give you one at a time. You're not gonna know when or where or how
or what part
or how much
or how much. We're just gonna give you
pieces.
Yeah, we're just gonna give you pieces at a time until we complete the cheesesteak, which could, I don't know, who knows when that's gonna happen, but. So that's not how I want my cheesesteak. If I pay $60 for a cheesecake, I want the whole damn cheesecake. I want to know, okay, this is how much cheesecake I'm getting. I'm gonna eat this much on this day, or whatever. I want to plan out my cheesecake diet. See, not have to go through that bullshit. So
look, I think there's when I go out and I'm like, when it's time to go out and sell the show to like different sponsors and stuff, there's no way I'm including these cheesecake episodes. They're coming out.
I love cheesecake. I don't know if you guys noticed.
Maybe we can get a cheesecake sponsor.
There we go. I'd be all for that. Hey, let's go.
This episode of the Codec is brought to you by Delicious.
Ding!
So yeah, I feel that same way, and I could be wrong. Don't take my word on this one, but from what I understood, is it's not on a schedule like you were saying. I think it's like when the player base does so many assassinations or reaches like a certain level, like that's when the next part of the campaign comes out, because it's their new system is like players create contracts, or there's this like world and you can like go in and mark, this bartender is a bad guy, you got to kill him. Like the tracks the world of assassination is what the theme of the game is, and that's what I was understanding. I mean, I'm gonna go back and rewatch it, but from what I understood is like you have to reach a certain community level for the next like part to come out, and I just kind of want to do that. That seems.
Oh, so kind of like the elusive Chapter 3 in Metal Gear Solid, right? With the people come together and suddenly it unlocks, right? That's how it works.
Oh boy.
I don't. Why are game companies doing this? I don't understand. Just give me my regular games, single player and my multiplayer and my split screen co-op, and I'll be happy.
Put in a cartridge for all I care, so you guys don't have the excuse of having to patch it. You know, back then games, they had to like really nail it because they couldn't patch cartridges, they couldn't patch CDs. They had to nail it the first time, and that inspired them to work harder instead of putting out half-ass bullshit. So, you know, let's go back to that era if that's what it takes. Fucking A.
Oh man. Moving on. Let's go to the next topic so we can all get to bed. The next thing, that we wanted to talk about was Halo 5. I wanted to bring it back up to you guys.
Oh, here we go.
In a conversation a couple days ago about it, and since then, our good neighborhood reviewer, Angry Joe, got his hands on the game and made his angry review. As always,
was he angry?
He was very angry.
That's what I like to hear.
Same points that we made. It was literally like watching myself speak through Angry Joe, except he's got kind of a fuller beard than I do.
And looks totally different from you. You know, there's that.
I'm working on it.
Also sounds different from you, but that's besides.
I'm not Spanish, okay? So
whoa! Why we gotta throw? See this?
He's Spanish.
We gotta shut this show down eventually.
He's Spanish.
Pulling the race cars. I can't do this. I can't do this.
Is he from Spain?
No.
Then he's not Spanish.
He's Spanish because he's Spanish.
Well, oh boy, are we gonna start this? I speak Spanish. Does that make me? You know, I don't come from Spain.
Look at Ronan.
I'm insulted.
Look, can we just talk about the important subject?
This is the state of America today, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
Look, this is a video game show. This isn't one of those
CNN,
podcasts.
Yeah.
This isn't the co-optional podcast by Total Biscuit where we can talk about anything. We're going to talk about games.
I thought the presidential debate had drama. Holy shit!
You're voting for Donald Trump, aren't you? God.
I knew it.
Of course.
So he did the calculations, and keep in mind, this is a rough estimate. This is not including, like, when you level up in the game, you get a couple packs of the cards that we talked about, and that's not counting, like, the bonus rewards and that kind of stuff. But just strictly, if there was none of that in the game, to unlock every piece of cosmetic stuff that comes in the game, it would be $1,106 paid for a pack. You unlock two permanent items in a gold pack. A gold pack is $5.99, and like I said, you get two permanent items. There's 637 items in the game. He did the math. It comes out to be $1,100 something for that. Or if you wanted to put time in, it's over 680 hours of just pure game time. And that's if you're a good player. If you're not a good player, it's upwards of 700 hours.
Wow. Okay, I'm losing my appetite.
And I can attest to this. I played today just to kind of put those things to the test. And like I said, counting out the promotional packs, which you're, like I told you guys before, you're going to get a bunch when you first start out because you're going to level up all the way to about level 15 or so before it starts taking a long time to level up. I played a match. My average income of RP points or RQ points was like 700 to 900. And like I said, a gold pack costs 10,000 rec points. I would have to play over 10 to 12 games to get one gold pack. One gold pack. One gold pack gets 2 items permanent. 2 items permanent, and everything else is the one use. I'm telling whoever watches our show that's in the gaming industry, I know there's like thousands of people watching Yong's. There's a couple thousand people watching mine. There's a couple hundred people here live. There's some hitbox staff in here. Somebody has to know somebody. Somebody tell them to change this. This has to be changed. This is literally... I'm going to reprint a copy of Halo's cover art, and it's going to be called Extortion the Game, because that's what this is. And I feel like I had to bring it up because people need to know about it. Y'all, you got a nice big audience. Ronan, you have a dedicated community. Our audience here at Nation Fusion and Frag Nation and Hitbox is growing. So the more people that I can tell this to, the better chance we have of like spreading the word. Angry Joe's already told his 2 million subscribers. I think there's some other people that have mentioned what's going on. It's outlandish what they're doing. But I don't want to dwell on it. I just kind of wanted to update you guys. Do you have anything else to say about it? Yeah, Young? You look really upset. Well, you don't look upset. You look like you're never going to buy a Halo game now.
I've never bought a Halo game, and I'm actually, now I'm feeling kind of happy about that. I've actually never played Halo.
Yeah, well.
Any of the Halo games. And Halo 5 might have just, decided for me that,
and I hate that because, Ronan, you know, Halo has been a good franchise.
1 and 2 are, heralded as some of the best FPSs in, since the dawn of time. And then there's 3. I don't know if 3 was good. I think it was good. 3 was okay. That's where it started to slide. Oh, okay.
Dude, video games are dead.
They're really...
End of discussion. Wrap this podcast up. Video games are dead.
Now introducing Cheesteaks Show.
Yep, there you go. That's going to be our show from now on.
Venom Ronan is back. He's already a demon.
Any final thoughts on that, Ronan, before we switch over?
Maybe you should just let's make it a cheesecake or a cheesesteak and cheesecake show.
There you go. That's
Let's review this cheesesteak.
It's too much cheese.
Give it an 8.5 out of 10. A little too much ketchup, but the cheese
story.
balance is excellent. So
how's the story in it? Is it a good story?
The story's excellent. I mean, the time it's spent in the grill is just like, wow, that story alone will bring you to tears.
That's
beautiful,
crazy.
Emotional. Yeah.
I don't know. And my actual experience with that, I had to yell at a couple people that were working behind the cash register because they messed up my order. But that's a different topic of discussion. When we get into that.
I heard you yell at some customer service reps. Now you're yelling at people behind counters.
Dude, okay.
Why are you so angry?
Because he's already a demon.
And the thing is, I can't disagree with that. That's the thing.
All right. Okay.
To make a long story short, yes. I had to go off on a UPS customer service representative. Simply because I had created a shipment and the jackass who was supposed to come pick it up didn't see the fucking package sitting right there in front. So when I called them, she was like, "Oh yeah, we can send them back out there, but we're gonna have to charge you for that." I said, "Wait a fucking minute. Are you telling me you're gonna charge me twice for the first order you didn't pick up the first fucking time, and then this one too?" I said, "No, that's just not about to happen. Put me on the phone with billing." She started stuttering. She got hesitant, and she told me that she was sorry about 5 times. And I felt bad at that point, but she already transferred me over to billing, so I couldn't say anything about that. Yeah. But I was livid.
Yeah. So it's not just the end of the gaming industry; it's the end of postal delivery service.
Yeah, exactly.
The world's ending, guys. I think Fallout 4 is marking the beginning of the end. Because
I'm so excited for that. But look,
we're way off track right now. What are we going to
went off on a tangent.
That's my job. That's why I'm here. You guys are the video. I got to keep us on track. All right, Ronan, Halo 5, thoughts on that? Any different?
It's sad to see a series that I respected go along this route. I was actually a big fan of the Halo series. Big enough, not to the point where I was reading the books and novels and stuff like that, but to a point where I had, me and a good friend of mine used to play multiplayer matches all the time. And that was kind of the thing we did when we hung out. And to see it fall so far like this with microtransactions and cards and shit like that, I will admit that I have lost a lot of respect for the series because of that.
Definitely. I talked to a Hitbox staff member today for the first time. I forget his real name, but he goes by DCO or what's the other Dubs, the first like when he called me on Skype, he was like, "Hey, how are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm great. I'm playing some Halo." And he's like, "Oh, is it good?" And I'm like, "No, it's the worst game I've ever played. No local split screen, no co-op, no more friends coming over. You got microtransactions out the wazoo for single use cards. You're throwing money away. I just 343 like has fucked it up." And like I told you in the last show, no new enemies, no new weapons. You're fighting fucking space dogs. What is a robot space dog? I don't get it. Anyways, we gotta move on. We got two more topics. One small and then one decent one. Call of Duty Black Ops released today. It is looking like the Arkham Knight on PC. Have you guys?
No.
Yeah.
No, let's talk about the Metal Gear story instead. This is getting depressing all of a sudden.
Yeah.
The
So much
Gear
salt in this room right now.
Look, the Metal Gear story's gonna be even worse. I just want to clear this. I just want to clear this up. I want to know if you guys have heard about the issue here.
I've definitely have.
Your fan bases or your audiences have kind of complained, but Call of Duty Black Ops dropped weirdly on a random day. It's not. I mean, whatever. Games come out on Tuesday. That's when games come out. Apparently, Treyarch was like, you know what? What if we just release this game on a weird day? Maybe nobody will notice it's broken for PC. So my question to you guys is, if you knew about it, and then if you did, what is your, I guess, your thought on these studios who are putting out shoddy PC ports? Is it? I feel like they think it's okay. Like, I feel like there's no way that a company can sit there, make a game, beta test it, have it there in their physical domain, and then be like, all right, that's good to go, ship it out.
Right.
Like, I feel like they know that it's fucked up, and they're still like, ship it out anyways. Do you guys think that's what's going on, or do you think this is like a legitimate, like, oh, we didn't know it was going to mess up on their computer?
No. They know perfectly well what they're shipping, unless, they have their heads up their asses, which, well, actually they do.
Unless they're
Apparently.
a 12-man studio that has to port the game, and how many weeks, Ronan, was it? To 3 weeks, 4 weeks?
They said it was 10 weeks at best? It was somewhere along those lines. It was pretty ridiculous for Batman.
Speaking of Batman, yeah. So,
which is still broken, by the way.
Those guys might have an excuse, and that's on the publisher. That's not on that studio. That studio did all they could in that little amount of time with that little amount of people. But we're talking about Call of Duty Black Ops. They had a beta for the PC, and it ran great. I played it. I don't have the best rig. I have a decent one. It's nothing like super high end, but it's in the middle, and it ran great. 60 frames a second, 1920 by 1080, perfectly good. The Steam user reviews are all like mostly negative. There's been major YouTubers, Jim Sterling, Angry Joe, and a couple other ones have made statements about their game running not good on the PC. So Yong has pretty much already put his opinion out there about it. So Ronan, what do you think? What do you think, are they aware of what's going on, or their excuse was? I believe the article that I read said that they can't predict how it's going to run on other people's computers, and that it's for. They said it's a minority who's experiencing these problems.
The fuck is that?
But
okay,
if you look at the Steam, like if you go to Steam right now and look at the user reviews, there's a lot of people having this problem, like choppy frames, unstable, like crashing to the desktop. There's a character creation part in the beginning. It's like freezing and getting stuck on like the picking a face, all this kind of weird stuff. Do you think they knew about this and just shipped it anyways and are just hoping to post it, patch it?
What the fuck are they talking about? Have they seen the reviews on Steam lately? That shit is mostly negative. What are they talking about? A minority of people. Get the fuck out of here with that. First of all. First of all, Why? Okay, they know that this shit is an issue. We have read so many articles, especially related to Batman. They
Yeah.
knew it was going out a broken piece of shit when they shipped it out. Same case is going for Call of Duty. They know it was going out a broken piece of shit. But the way the industry handles things like this, at least a common pattern that has happened these days, has been ship it out. If it's broken, patch it later. Get it out there first. And that's what they do.
Yeah.
All the time, and that's what happens here. And I bet you it's the same case with Call of Duty Black Ops 3 on PC.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, Call of Duty is literally the worst company for patches. Like I think when Advanced Warfare was out, it was like a month and a half, 2 months before we got our first patch. Xbox got some patches, I got some DLC. PS4 got some patches, some DLC, and they're like, "Oh, hey, somebody fix these PC players' problem, whatever that is, and then charge them for the DLC."
Yeah. And that's what happens. Like, matter of fact, to touch on the topic of that of broken games that come out, the quote unquote, I'm gonna put it in quotes, remastered edition of Darksiders 2 came out this week as well on PC. And
You love that game.
I
don't you?
do, and it was also a broken piece of shit on PC,
God
where they
damn.
had to patch it because if you turn the shadows up in that game to the max, the game would crash at the loading screen. Really? On a game that came out in 2012 and ran on the most low end of hardware at 60 frames a second maxed out. But you can't max out shadows on a high-end PC
Look.
without it crashing? Are you kidding me?
I'm going to quote somebody that we've been talking about a little bit throughout the show. I'm going to quote Angry Joe. "Why you do this? Why you do this? Why do you do this?" I don't understand. Y'all made a great point about how games used to come out, and I don't like to sit here.
I can't give cartridge games too much credit for back then, only because I was one of the ones who bought Sonic the Hedgehog 3. And that came with an expansion cartridge. I shit you not. It came with an expansion cartridge for Sonic and Knuckles. And if you attach those together and put that in the Genesis, you got more content out of your game. It also fixed issues as well.
Wow. Look,
crazy
I spent most of my younger time I was playing Metal Gear, but when I wasn't, I was getting motion sick playing Jet Moto. So that was the extent of I had a PlayStation. I didn't have a Nintendo I had a Sega, but my dad wouldn't let me play it. But I don't like to complain. I really like to use this show to kind of talk about the news or whatever. But it seems to me that the more that we do this and the more frequent that we haven't missed a show since we started, since March. We've been doing this every week since March. I don't think without an exception. There might have been one show, but I don't remember.
There might have been one or two that we did miss.
I don't think so.
Well, we weren't all present in all of them, but
right.
I think
There's been a show no matter what every month.
every week.
Well, yeah,
Every month.
every week for every month, there's been a show. But my point is, as we do this, I feel like more and more companies are starting to kind of watch our show. The press contact that I have at Bethesda says that they've seen our show before because I've invited them to be on the show. Obviously, Konami has seen the show, different voice actors. So I feel like it's important that we talk about some of these things that they can do and fix. Whether they take it or not is, I guess, totally
It's up to them.
It's totally up to them, and we'll probably never know if they watch or not. But if they do, I think it's important that we put our opinions out there and whatnot. But last topic, because I'm ready to go to sleep. I know you guys are too. Metal Gear Solid 6 will happen if they can get an investor to invest money.
Wait, I've not heard of this. What?
Yeah, Ronan's going to tell you a little bit about it. He's the one who suggested it. I'm going to let him.
Well, yeah. They're not necessarily calling it Metal Gear Solid 6, but they're
Well, it will be
recent
the
news.
6th.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're saying their next big Metal Gear entry in the series. What they've been quoted as talking about in news articles during the week, and essentially,
they have to get. Did they put a figure out there?
They didn't put a figure out there or anything, but they did say that they were looking into sizing up the investment they would need to make a fully fledged big release Metal Gear Solid game.
Why? You sold 5 million. 5 million copies.
No, they shipped 5 million. But I don't know if they sold 5 million, but they shipped 5 million.
Yeah, you can ship, but you sell through is when it really counts.
Okay, well, they've sold over 3 million. Know that for sure. We've seen, okay, and if it's over 3, it's got to be close to 5. That's all.
Well, we know that it made $179 million on the first day globally on opening day. We know that, and that's opening day.
Okay, yeah, just going off of that, let's just pretend nothing else has happened since then. That's a lot of money. The Fox engine is complete. I would say you guys were fairly impressed with the Fox engine, right? I didn't see a whole lot of bugs. I saw, a couple glitches here and there. I've seen some YouTubers put up.
Look, man, my legendary soldier Big Boss should be able to walk up a ledge without sliding back down it. I'm sorry to say.
Well, keep in mind that they use it in PES, and it runs very, very well in PES as well. Terrain and stuff, that's easily fixed. But for the most part, though, you were impressed with the Fox engine, yes or no?
Yeah, I thought it looked good. I'm not, like I said before, it's not the best thing that's happened since sliced bread, but I think it looks like a great engine overall.
Sliced bread is a good thing.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not hating on sliced bread. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying.
Not as good as cheesecake, but
no, hell no.
No,
Absolutely not. Let's not get started.
Well, according to y'all, I don't like it. But
anyway.
Look, I'm not leaving. All right. So with that out there, the story kind of explained a little bit. Y'all, I'm curious what you think about that. I don't understand why Konami would need an outside investor to invest money into. Let's pretend they do need it. Okay, what for? Is it they need a large investment to hire a brand new staff, or the engine's already there? The code has to be at least interchangeable. I've never seen a company build a completely new engine and then be like, all right, we're only going to use it for this one game this one time.
The Fox engine was built for Metal Gear Solid 5, but you can reuse that engine obviously, because that was a step from previous engine next gen. So it made sense for that. But for the most part, like Bethesda, they basically enhance their old engines, and like Fallout 4 is sort of, I believe it's like an enhanced version of the Creation engine from Skyrim, and yada yada yada. So they build upon their original engine and they make it better and better and better. Right. Now they got this brand new, shiny, beautiful thing called Fox Engine. What?
It looks good.
Yeah, look, Metal Gear Solid 5 was 80 million, I believe. That's the figure out there.
Right.
I believe that includes Fox Engine and, the years of development. This game is massive. The scale of this game is just massive. Kiefer Sutherland is one of the actors and stuff like that. They don't need to go that big for Metal Gear. They could go back to the roots of some of the older Metal Gear games where it's maybe you're infiltrating a facility rather than a giant open world. Why would how could it ever get to the point where it costs as much as Metal Gear Solid 5? You already have the engine. You already have all the resources. What? And you made a shit ton of money with Metal Gear Solid 5.
Exactly.
And you're probably going to make a shit ton of money with the fucking pachinkos, but that's another story. But so why?
I don't know. I can't. Why would you even even if they do? Why would you say that?
And they shut down Konami LA, and that doesn't help matters. They could have used
did they?
At all.
They did.
Yeah, they
so
did.
They disbanded Kojima Productions and then shut down the studio that they built.
Yeah.
Wow.
And now they're saying we need investors for Metal Gear Solid, whatever, the next one. What are they doing?
Is the staff still there? Like Robert?
No. People lost their jobs.
Yeah.
At Konami LA.
Robert's no longer with. About him?
I haven't talked to him lately, but I'll ask.
Yeah,
him, I hope he's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, seriously, because that's shitty.
I've messed. How long ago was that development?
It was this week. Couple days ago. Yeah,
it was this week.
Wow, I missed that. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, Konami LA was completely disbanded, and they made a press release and stuff like that. and people lost their jobs. People
Wow.
lost their, and I went there for the review event. There were a lot of genuinely excited, excellent people there that no longer have a job, and that sucks because they're really great people who are dedicated to making Metal Gear Solid 5 a great experience and whatnot.
Right.
This is not how they deserve to go. They were
Definitely not.
they
And
were great people.
that's so I'm always so conflicted because everybody like wants like us to hate Konami, but like I don't hate people at Konami because they're like you said they're all nice. It's like that corporate part
Yeah,
is
yeah,
just
yeah.
like messing everything like when I was talking to Stephanie, the lady Carol that helped set up that interview with her. She's the nicest lady ever. She
She's
hooked me
just
up with
doing her job,
Yeah, hooked me
Yeah.
up with a review copy and like without no questions asked. Here you go. Here's one for the PS4. Here's one for the Xbox. Whatever you need, we got you. Here's what do you want to do, Pez? Ask me if I wanted to do. Yeah, sure. Like they're all nice over there, and they sent out an email just a couple weeks ago or a couple days ago about like if you're considering Metal Gear for like Game of the Year or anything like that on your list, like let us know. All that, like they stay in touch with you. Not a lot of press people do that. So most of them are nice. But to get back on topic, yeah, I think like what you said, like they have the engine there. They have to. I mean, I never like reusing assets, but I know it's a thing. So if they ever need, like, if they needed rocks or foliage for their game, like the next one, they wouldn't have to work very hard. It's already there. Everything looks really nice. My suggestion is if, as Donna Burke implied, if people at Konami actually watch this, take the African map and the Afghanistan map, put them side by side, make them completely flat, put a big box around them, and then build a gracious interior inside, and then make that a game. I would love to infiltrate like just a huge, just the
I mean,
size.
that's a monstrosity of a building you're talking about.
Right, well, it doesn't have to be one build. It could be like that's the base,
Like a
that's the base.
giant. I mean,
That's
do you
the
understand
base
how
of it.
big this building would be? It would be the biggest building probably ever created, ever. Period.
Well, it's gonna house Sahelanthropus 2. The
And it's
new-
going to be the entire size of this big building
Yeah.
that you're in. So
And he
that's the only
won't
thing you run
walk on
into.
2 legs. He'll walk on his hands.
Yep, there you go.
Orangutan Olympius. Or whatever.
That'd be great.
I don't know. Look, my point is like the assets are there. The ability to create another game is there. The only thing I could justify like them needing an outside investor for, especially after you make that much money in profit, you make your investment back. Most investors will invest up to that amount back into another game. That would make a crazy game. I mean, you're talking like you said, around 80 million. That's all. That's right up there with things like Grand Theft Auto 5 and stuff like that. Look how big and successful that game is. But my point is, everything is there, and the only thing that I could think to justify it would be bringing on new staff, maybe hiring a big name creator, developer, giving these guys at Konami LA their jobs back, like. Something like that is what I would justify you needing an investment. But if you say like you're a game company and you make games and like now all of a sudden you need an outside investor to make another game, that just seems weird to me.
But it's like you already fired all these people. Why do you like?
That's a lot of budget space.
Yeah, if you rehire, it's just they're taking their over the previous jobs. It doesn't really affect like anything like it. I don't know. I'm not a businessman, but just common sense, I think, dictates that if you replace something with something else, it's just it just stays that way. It's the same thing, except with a
I'm
different
a smart
thing there.
man, but I know what love is.
Okay.
Roland, your thoughts on this, man, so we can get out of here.
Yeah. In all honesty, this.
Because you broke the article to me.
Yeah, I did actually.
I
Because I was checking the news about this, and I'm like, wait a minute, they're actually going through with this whole idea of making the next Metal Gear. In all honesty, I feel like this news came out on the heels of the idea of them disbanding Kojima Pro LA. I felt like it was a case of, hey, we shut down this studio, but we're still making a Metal Gear Solid game. Don't hate us.
Yeah,
We're still making a new Metal Gear game, guys. And it was so early for them to announce that they had to add on the fact that, yeah, we're looking for an investor for this at the moment. And you would think you talk about this stuff after you've got all that stuff in place ahead of time, but they didn't do that. Thing is, when it comes, I'm not, and like all of us here, just a disclaimer that this is all speculation. We're not game developers, so we don't know entirely the ins and outs of game development daily.
I make video games and video game accessories.
All right, Hank Hill. Thing is, when you're it depends on the kind of game you're trying to make, and if their idea is to make the bigger, better Metal Gear Solid game, then yeah, sure, you can use the new engine that you made for that. But of course, you're going to have to customize and alter and change parts of that engine to make the assets and the creations and the objects, whatever you're going to be making in that game. You have to customize your engine to accommodate that. And that does take time, money, resources, the list goes on. And I'm sure that's what part of that project is going to be about. So they'll need money for that, of course, plus hiring staff, voice actors, actresses, the list goes on, motion capture. If they plan on doing this as big as they claim they're planning on doing it, then they're going to need all of that on top of that. Yeah. Plus, modifying this existing engine to do things like that. But to say that, I mean, you made a lot of money on Metal Gear Solid 5. It may now.
I felt like you just pierced the soul of Konami. You just stared right into that camera. You're like,
you made a lot of money on Metal Gear Solid 5. Now, perhaps because you haven't given us the idea of whether or not you broke even on the profits. You told us you made over $170 million on the first day. Who knows how much of that actually went back to you instead of the manufacturers for discs, the retailers for holding those discs. A good portion of that does come out of those profits. But you made a lot of money on Metal Gear Solid 5. Okay?
First day.
First day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So the fact that you're looking for an investor for this kind of, what?
Yeah. I think just the way that it was written in the article, it made me think Konami showing up with a nice white button shirt, but it's not nice anymore. It's kind of like the buttons are falling off, and they're like, I don't have money. I don't have money. That's like the vibe that I got from that article, and that can't be the case. You don't need an investor to make this Metal Gear happen. You want one.
Aren't you a publisher? Aren't you supposed to be doing that shit yourself?
That's their job.
I mean, like I said, I'm just speculating, but aren't you supposed to be whatever?
They're shifting to mobile too, so whatever else they're working on won't be nearly as expensive, and I don't know if it's decent or if people like to buy shit. I guess they'll make a lot of profit from that because that's where the market is headed. So yeah, I don't know where, I don't know why, I don't know. I just don't fucking know. Konami has been a giant question mark lately. I just don't understand their mental way of. I just don't understand what they're thinking. What are you guys doing? Explain. You're giving us these little bits and pieces, and then you try to put them together like a puzzle, and it's just nothing matches up. We got a triangle and a square and a circle. We can't fit them together. So what the fuck? I'm confused.
Right.
You try hard enough, you'll get that shit in there, but you might break something.
So that is gaming news for the first week.
Are you depressed yet? Because we are.
Look.
What the hell was that?
I just want to show you.
I was like, what the hell's going on?
In other news, we interviewed Stephanie Houston today. That was good. So.
Oh yeah, that happened. Yeah. It was it was yesterday almost.
I gotta bring something positive up because that was a dreary segment of the Codec, and I hate that we're getting there. We started out all nice and happy, and we interviewed David Hayter, and
I was eating my cheesesteak, and now I don't want to work at this.
Guaranteed to make you hate life by the end of each episode.
Look, we are dedicated to bringing you the truth in gaming news. We will not be one of the shows that sugarcoats things and doesn't say.
I don't. I'm sorry.
Yong said this to us privately a couple days ago. He goes, "I'm going to say whatever the hell I want," and that's the kind of approach that we like to take here.
That's our new motto. The Codec. Yeah. We're going to say whatever the hell we want. That's the tagline.
Yep.
Let's wrap up, guys. So again, big thank you to Stephanie Houston for coming out. Thank you to the sponsors: Control Freak, Hitbox, BattleBox, GameScope, and Green Man Gaming. They're all discount codes right below me. If you are interested in buying like games or whatever for PC, Green Man Gaming is the place to go. You can save 20% on PC games with using that discount code there. GameScope makes the game sticky scopes that go on the front of your screen. You can use a code. We all have a code. You can use the code the Codec. You can use Yong Yeah or Corrupt Ronan on your checkout. Save 20%, and all of those proceeds help the co-hosts make some money on the side. So if you're interested in buying that product, go ahead and check them out. Big thank you to our supporters in here: Boney B, TikTok, Kirk, Hawkeye for helping us out, mod the chat and all that. You guys have all been amazing. We really appreciate all of that support.
Captain America, Black Widow, Hulk, Iron Man, my man Iron Man.
What's up, Iron Man? Let's go.
Thor, we can't forget about Thor.
Oh man,
Ultron,
he's Incredible Hulk.
Incredible Hulk. I haven't seen any of those movies yet. I really need to go see some of them.
Okay.
Get out.
Continue.
Well, I heard mixed reviews on those, so I don't know if I'm missing out.
They're fun. They're just fun. Like turn your brain off and just watch it. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's not.
I don't think too hard about it.
I think I was spoiled by David Hayter's X-Men movie, and like nothing kind of has lived up to that since then. But anyways, thank you to those guys for supporting us. We definitely appreciate that, and without them, the show is shorter and not as cool. So thank you to those guys for their great support. What's going on with us? We'll have a show next week. I don't think we have a guest lined up unless I line up Lori Allen for you guys. That was the plan. If I can make that happen, I'll let you know. If not, we'll have a new segment. Excuse me. For you guys next week. But we're working on some other cool interviews. Ashley Johnson is a big possibility. I know Mark Meir is interested in coming back on, and so is I don't want to pronounce his name because I can't. Raphael Sarvargi.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
I literally cannot pronounce his last name. Why? He's in a lot of games. He was in Star Wars: The Old Republic. He was in Mass Effect as Kaden Alenko.
Okay.
His name's Raphael something with an S.
Raphael.
What do they call him? Raphael S. He's a possibility. I'm setting stuff up. So we do have some interviews coming up for you guys. But really what helps, there's 100 and something people in here, over 150 people in here. What helps is if you go to Twitter and you go to @the_Codec on Twitter and look for me to tweet out celebrities. Usually I'll say, hey, I need some help from the retweet army or something like that in the post, and I'll be like, to help get this celebrity. And when you guys retweet and favorite or whatever, it makes that person notice us if they don't have an agent that I can contact or their information's not out there. It just kind of helps set up interviews. So if there's anybody that you guys want to see interviewed, tweet at us, and then we will retweet at that person, and then hopefully we can get the retweet army going, and we can get some of the guests that you guys want to see.
Mark Hamill. Excuse me.
Let's do that. I mean, tomorrow I will tweet at Mark Hamill. I tweeted at him once, and I didn't get very many retweets. I only got 10. But tomorrow I'll make another one. Yeah, it's really, I guess because I'm up late, and sometimes I'll tweet stuff out at 2 in the morning.
Kiefer. Chad is saying Kiefer. What's up with Kiefer?
Yeah, what's going on with Kiefer?
Kiefer's tough to get a hold of.
He's busy.
Chris was saying, I've been in contact with his agent. So what did I tell you about when I contacted his agent?
He
3 months ago?
Call next week.
But I'm saying, when's the first time I told y'all that? It was like 3
Oh
months
my
ago.
god, that
That was
before
a while back, man.
before the game came out, like way before the game came out.
Yeah.
I think it was like 4 months ago. Like, it was a while.
Yeah.
It was a while back.
And literally every time that I called, they're like, "This is not a good week. This is not a good week. Kiefer's busy this week." Granted, he is shooting a movie and a TV show, and he had just finished Metal Gear. So, I mean, I get it, but hopefully we don't want to go through his agent. Like, what would be really nice is if we tweeted at him, and we got a bunch of retweets, and he was like, "Oh, hey, look, there's this show."
What the hell is this? Damn it, Chloe! I love that show.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, that's the thing. We need your guys' support. I can't do it by myself. I try, and we get a lot, but some need that extra oomph, push from you. But we also have Reno Wilson, who's coming on beginning of the year. So we do have that to look forward to. But that is it for me. Ronan, anything you'd like to say before we get out of here, buddy?
Yep, video games are dead. Thanks for watching, guys. We will see you all next week.
We're not going to be talking about video games, obviously. I don't know what we're going to talk about.
Talking about cheesesteak, cheesecake, cake, everything, all your confectionaries. We'll talk about them all next week. We can give you reviews for them. Maybe talk about the latest movies that are coming up.
I hope you're not lactose intolerant. There's going to be a lot of cheese.
We can call this show the confection.
There you go.
Ninja Star's not included this week.
Yes, absolutely. On Sunday, that'll be happening. Another podcast episode. We're gonna try to get the newest episode that we did last week up pretty soon. I know things have kind of slowed down a bit with a lot of me also posting these interviews
You're
on my YouTube channel.
You're the worst at archiving videos to your YouTube channel.
I know. I tried to get back on that, but people are all like, you just do it on your stream. We'll watch it here. But I'm like, but what if I want to archive it on YouTube? Just do it on your stream. It's fine. We'll watch it. I don't know what they want anymore.
I think you and Yang can attest to the torment of the dreaded rendering process. You
I already know.
Cannot use your computer for anything other than surfing the internet. You could
too much.
I tried. I was rendering that battle box video that I told you about, which we don't have time to watch, but you should definitely check it out on your own time. I'll send you a link after we get out of here. But there's I tried to play a game while a video was rendering.
Oh, don't do that.
It literally I don't know what the word for it is. I'm gonna say power cycled my graphics card, like it flashed or whatever, and I didn't notice that it happened. Like the screen went off and it came back on, and the game was playing, and I was like, "Oh,
your driver's crashed." That's what happened.
Yeah, my driver's crashed. That's probably what it was.
Yeah,
so because I was playing the game and it was playing really shitty, and then when that happened, the game started playing great, and I was like, "Cool, now I can play the game." And then I go back an hour later and check the video, and it's not rendering anymore.
Yeah, that tends to happen a lot. Like, what kind of GPU do you have in your PC?
That's a Radeon.
Okay.
Get
That's
out.
the problem right there. Get out. No.
Well, you guys have ruined the opportunity for that sponsorship.
It's a joke, Radeon. We love you. We love. No, I have a Radeon card.
I do too. It's sitting in a box somewhere.
You guys first. Anyways, yeah. So
I think a big issue with that is that when you're rendering videos, sometimes the renderers have a tendency to use your GPU for encoding, and that can cause problems.
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
Well, yeah. So I know that's probably part of the problem, but hopefully you can get those archived up.
Yeah,
it's cool to see. I saw your version of the Christopher Randolph interview. Looked pretty cool.
Which is up on YouTube now. So I'll try to get this one up there pretty soon as well. I'm gonna try to do all this stuff hopefully during the weekend if I can. I'll see what I can do there. I'm also working on a couple of other videos. I got a tutorial video that I'm working on for something completely different, but I'll keep people posted on what that's going to be when the time happens on that. But outside of that, no streams this weekend except for the podcast, so don't expect me to be like, hey, you streamed this weekend, your day's off because we want to see more of this game. Not gonna happen. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Fantastic interview with Stephanie. It was a wonderful time having her on the show, and gonna have to hold her to that tour in Japan if we ever
definitely
get to
Definitely. I think we'll get there.
Yeah.
I think the way this show's growing and the amount of support that we're getting from the fans and Hitbox. I think around the beginning of next year when.
Yeah.
Little secret, most organizations refresh their media budgets around that time. I think our show will be doing very nice. So excited for the future, you guys. I was happy to have us back again doing another interview. We did our first interview back together as a team with Christopher Randolph. Felt good then, feels even better now. I love doing the show with you guys. So,
Absolutely.
y'all.
Yeah.
So beautiful. Oh, good. I'll see you guys next time. No. Anyway.
Young's threatening to beat me up because I don't like cheesecake.
Yeah, no. We're not finished with that conversation, buddy.
Roger that.
This is, off the codec, off air, we'll have a talk. But anyway, all joking aside, Fallout 4 retrospective is still happening. I know I usually upload at 12 a.m., but, the thing is, Bethesda's scheduling, it's like nothing, boom, in your face, Fallout 4! Enjoy, here it is. It's coming out in 5 months, and here's a bunch of content. Go, have fun, go, enjoy. And it was so in this latter half of the retrospective, these videos are getting ridiculous to make because the news just flood in, out of nowhere.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
I messaged you a little while ago, like a couple days ago. I think you were busy, but I sent a message. There was some leaked gameplay.
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to see that before it was taken down? Because it literally, like, when I found it, I was like, hey, Young, did you see this leaked gameplay? I told my staff about it, and then by the time I got back to your message, or like to type to you, which was within the span of 30 to 45 minutes, it was taken down from it.
Yeah,
I saw it.
I saw that too.
Okay, so yeah, you saw like the guy walking around the town. He killed a couple super mutants in a tower.
He was in a building.
Yeah,
with a bunch of super mutants. Like, that's wow. I don't know what's going on there, but
What'd you think? Because I said in my message that you 50-50 on the loot system. Like you nailed it. Like the loot system is like
live. Yeah, like
it's
there's
live
a pause game.
It's real
live
time.
On the fly. The only thing you missed was the Pip-Boy. It looks like
it pauses the game. They actually they said that a while back. Actually, I was doing the retrospective, and it turns out they've already mentioned that the Pip-Boy pauses the game like way back. So I was just not attentive on that. But yeah. So but yeah, you can change your inventory during combat, which makes sense. You just that's a thing. So. Yeah. Okay. But no, I think the game looks great. Some people are complaining about the graphics, but for me, it's more about the experience of. Cool. Yeah, I think there's a certain style to it. I don't know what. Right. Like it's not just like it's not all gritty. It's.
I think you also nailed that. It's free. It to me, it seemed
seamless.
Flow. Mm-hmm. From in the building to out of the building.
Yeah.
That was really neat.
Yeah, there are probably some loading stuff that's happening in the background. Like I saw the guy getting in an elevator. Yeah, I feel like there's some loading there, but they hide it so well that it doesn't feel. Well, it doesn't fade to black, and then like in previous games, you're still in the game. I think.
I don't know. I think.
At least it's more seamless than it ever was,
I think you were right about it actually being seamless because I tend to remember. It's hard to tell now that the gameplay's down. And I only got to see it once, but I thought I remember him walking over to like one side of like the building and him being able to see out to the ground, like he might be able to jump out the window and fall, and maybe the elevator literally was just elevator him up.
That'd be phenomenal.
Yeah, I think that's really cool.
I'd jump.
Yeah, right. My first jump out of a building in Fallout, man. That's the seamless environment. But yeah, I thought it was cool that you predicted that in your analysis or whatever that the picking like the loot stuff would be on the fly. I thought that was really cool because then you can like grab like power cells off the ground or bullets that have to be laid down.
Seamless.
Just pick them up and get in there and be good to go. But my question was what did you think of the gameplay? Did you like it?
Oh, I loved it. The shooting mechanics look very, very solid, which I like. It feels like a shooter, but also you can clearly see that there is a lot of tactical advantage to using VATS versus just shooting your way through. I mean, this is an RPG at the end of the day, and stats do matter. You want to get those perks up, and you want to level up, and all that good stuff. It looks great. I mean, it's still Bethesda-y in that some of the animations still look stiff. There's some little for me with Bethesda, it's always been animation. There's just, I don't know. Like, it's so much better in this game than it ever was. But there's still something off about it. It's just so stiff and recycled, and like the NPCs just look very like they're clearly like their animations are clearly looping. When they're scared, they do this, over and over again, like that kind of thing. But the world looks phenomenal. It looks lush, beautiful, and dreary, and I personally don't mind the graphics as long as the immersion is there. I think the graphics look good. They're not the best thing in the world, but they look pretty damn good. Particularly the lighting looks great.
Yeah, for sure.
So everything just looks improved. Just every aspect from the. I'm curious to see how the leveling system, if I'll like that, because it's so new. It's very different from
that's
what they've done before. But I feel like if each of the ranks for each of the perks really can be like very like enhancing, where like because they say we have 70 base perks, but if you count the ranks, it's 275 perks. Now I don't count, like it goes your melee attacks go from 10% to 20% extra damage. That's not really a perk. That's just the stat increase. But now you can make people's heads explode and and shit like that. That's a perk. That's a perk.
Yeah, that's what I like. Like I said, the thing that was concerning is I used to like when I leveled up, I could put 10 points into lockpicking or 10 points into explosives or whatever, and that would give you like the ability to interact with things differently, like the nuke in was it Megaton?
Yeah,
is that the town?
Yeah.
Where if you have like a high enough explosive skill, you're able to like defuse that bomb or whatever. So I'm hoping that they kind of implement those things into the perks somehow. But that's the only thing that I was really concerned about with it. It's good. I like that extra interaction of like my stats actually affecting some of the gameplay choices that I have. Like if you were real high in like machine guns or like assault rifles or whatever, then there was like a certain mission for the NCR where you could like repair weapons or whatever, and that would make the guys like better or stronger. So
I think they are going to implement something like that in the game, where like certain perks will also have an effect on certain types of actions. I mean that has to be the case. Like lockpicking, there is perks for lockpicking, and if you
is there?
Yeah, there is. So, and the higher you go with lockpicking, the more advanced locks you can pick, and So I think Bethesda isn't. They're not stupid. I think they know what they're doing, and I love the way they reveal the game. Where you're still excited about the game, but you don't know too much about it. I think Metal Gear Solid.
Days.
Yeah, I know. Metal Gear Solid 5. They revealed way too much, and a lot of that had to do with delays and stuff. But still, most of the surprises were gone by the time the game shipped. Fallout 4 is the complete opposite, and I commend them for that.
Definitely,
it's a bold plan, but I think it's working. People are hyped, and it's going to be great.
All right, cool. Well, we're excited to see what you have. Down the pipe. Yeah, I think when Fallout comes out in a couple days or whatever, you're done with your retrospective. Like you said, you've got some work on the Dragonborn you want to do, but then you've got some Metal Gear stuff coming down later.
Yeah, prior to number 1 after Fallout 4 is get a review out for that, and then Dragonborn. I want to finish that. I just want to nail that, like make that my number 1 focus. For the month of November, December. It'll probably come out in December, I mean, honestly, because I've just been so busy. But I really don't want to make it a 2016. No, I definitely want to get it out 2015. And if it's just I haven't had time to touch it. But if I literally take a month off and focus on that, it'll be done. It'll be done.
Yeah.
So that's that. And then I'm going to do some extensive Metal Gear analysis, lore stuff, do the 2-hour or hour-long lore video detailing the whole saga.
Right.
And so Metal Gear will come. It's just Metal Gear will always be there. Fallout, it's, the hype is there, and you got to, get a review out as soon as possible, because otherwise what's the point once the game's out and people play the game. And Dragonborn is just something that I've promised people, and I need to deliver on that.
We've been waiting.
Yeah, exactly. Metal Gear will be there for me to analyze at any time. So that's I don't want to say it's not a priority. It's just I feel like there are other more pressing things right now.
Definitely. Okay, cool. Well, I think your fans will be excited, and I'm excited to see what you got. Anything else, man?
That's it. With that, I will see you guys next time. Yong out.
Have a good night, guys. We'll see you next time on the next episode of the Codec.